I knew I was on a mission, on a very specific quest, you know? It was bigger than just wanting to be a musician or do movies. It was about finally showing the world what Scott could do. I wasn't the best student. At that moment in your time in life, you feel like that's all that matters. High school, it's like, oh, this girl doesn't like me, this guy here, and it's all this drama, and you go into the real world and you know it's about just trying to make your mark in the world. And I never got a chance to do that academically. So I had this fire. I had this fire to pursue this musical career.
If you only have 24 hours in a day, your success is dependent upon how you use the 24. You gotta hear me. People talk about Oprah Winfrey, Ted Turner, Warren Buffett. Listen to me. I don't care how much money you make. You only get 24 hours in a day. And the difference between Oprah and the person that's broke is Oprah uses her 24 hours wisely. That's it. Listen to me. That's it. You get 24. I don't care if you broke, you grew up broke. I don't care if you grew up rich. I don't care if you're in college, you're not in college. You only get 24 hours. And I blew up literally. I went from being a high school dropout to selling 6,000 books in less than 6 months. What happened? It was my 24 hours. I was like, okay, Eric, you got to get a grip on your 24 hours because you're about to be broke for the rest of your life. And that's all I need you to do for me. I can tell you all about your life if you just write down your 24-hour schedule for me and you let me look at it. I can tell you where you're going to be in 5 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 10 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 20 years if you keep that schedule.
Some of you are doing okay, as you say, but want to go to the next level. But none of you are going to reach the next level unless you are committed every day to be better than yesterday. I know none of you are happy with average. Average is not for you, and average will not be you. You might be at a great level, but you must understand there is always another level at the same intensity, week in, week out, and expect improved results. The world doesn't work like that. You give more and you get more. You must understand that despite perceived limitations, if you push yourself, you can always raise the bar in your life. You have to always raise the bar. First you set the standard, then you raise the bar. Don't you dare quit. Don't you dare settle. Don't you dare back down. Not today or any other day. When the tough moments come, never forget. You are in that moment writing your legacy. In that tough moment, you are setting the standard for your character. Do you have the character? You do. Never forget, never quit. The key is hard work. The key is found in my grind, in my hustle. The key is found in believing in myself. The key is believing in myself when no one else does. The key is in my obsession with reaching success, my obsession with reaching my targets. The key is outworking my rival. The key is sacrificing my today for a better tomorrow. The key is in getting out of my comfort zone and pushing myself past perceived limitations. The key is in daily growth. The key is sticking it out when times are tough. The key is being tougher than my life is. The key is using my pain as fuel to drive me to success. The key is in my goals. Goals so big, they scare small minds. The key is in my vision. The vision that keeps getting bigger every time that I conquer my last goal. The key is in taking responsibility for my life, no matter what happens, no matter what test life throws my way. The key is in doing whatever it takes. The key is within me. The key is within me.
like if you believe, man. You know? If you believe, and if you want it, and if you want to work hard enough for it, it can be so.
So I'm constantly asked, how do I find my purpose? How do I make money? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I get this? The only way to get something is that you have to give something. And if you don't give anything, if you don't have that passion or purpose, then you're going to have to go to a larger corporation and do something for them. But if you're unhappy there, you've got to figure out what it is that you can give back to the world. God put us on this earth, or whatever it is that you believe in. You're here for a reason, but life wants an ROI. What's the return on investment? When someone puts you in this world, this beautiful world, it's a huge playground. Like, we can go play every day, but if you want to play every day, you got to make sure it's still bringing value. There has to be some sort of return on investment. Somebody, something, some bigger power, God, whatever it is that you believe in, invested in you to be here on this earth. Now, an investment always gives something back. When you invest in a home, when you invest in a stock, when you invest in anything, in a person, it's like, what can you bring to the table? I invested in you in a reason, in a business, right? It's like, what's my return? Now, life wants a return on investment. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna give back to whoever or whatever or God or whatever it is that you believe in? What are you gonna give back to the world for them to say this was a good investment? That's what you have to make your life about. Every morning when I wake up, I tell myself, I say, hey, there is something bigger than myself that put me here today. And I've got to figure out how to pay them back so that they get a return on investment, or else they're going to walk away. And that when you don't give a return on investment, when you can't invest back into the world, you get nothing. You get nothing. You can't just sit around and watch TV all day, go to parties, hang out with your friends, sleep in. Like, I'm sorry, but that's like a waste of space. That's a waste of space. We're all here to invest back into the world. The same way you invest in a person. When you invest in a person, when you start dating, when you get into marriage, you ask yourself, what does this person bring into my life? Why am I picking them? And the same thing in a business. When a venture capital or an angel investor or any investor goes to a company and says, I'm going to invest in you, it's because they see there are sales. There's a return on investment. So if you want the world to invest in you and you want to succeed and you want to get all these amazing things, that right relationship, that right dream, that right this, that right, you need to create value back into the world for the world to keep saying, I'm going to keep investing in you. There's this invisible law that's in my head for wealth. The only way to attain wealth is if you invest so much into the world that whatever that bigger power is going to say, I'm going to reinvest in you. And that's why people that give so much to the world are getting more money, because they know how to use it. They're using their time to invest into the world, not spend it on dumb crap. Like, they actually go out there really, really in the core of their stomach, in the soul of their heart, they feel they want to give back to the world. And the world says, well, I'm going to reinvest in you. So you got to think, what is it that I'm going to do to reinvest back into the world that I can do every single day of my life? And no matter what you think, doesn't matter if you're fat, doesn't matter if you're skinny, doesn't matter if you're tall, you're short, you're black, you're white, I don't care. I don't care if you're deaf, I don't care if you're missing an arm. It doesn't matter. This works for everybody. And that's why there's no excuse. Like, this equation works for everybody. If you invest into the world, it's gonna invest back in you. So you have no excuse.
People go through life never getting in touch with their greatness because of the lack of motivation to push themselves, or because they have not found something that they believe to be worthwhile to challenge them. That many talented persons have gone unnoticed, and the world never had a chance to be exposed to their talent because that person did not take the time to begin to express or to demonstrate or to motivate themselves in the direction to bring that which they came into the universe to bring. Many people will leave the universe without a trace. No one will know they were here. And in fact, under their name, we could put under there, not used up. Will anybody know that you came this way? What contribution are you giving? What will you leave? What will be different because you came this way? That life is our gift to us, that God has given us, and how we live our lives is our gift to God. What kind of gift are you formulating? Is this a gift that you like to take back and do something else before you turn it in? Think about that. What can we do? What are some of the keys that we can begin to use to motivate ourselves when our batteries run low? Because I don't care who you are, I don't care what you do, at some time you are going to get tired. At some time you're going to get in a rut. Seem like nothing you do works out right. And sometimes it just seems like you just don't have the wherewithal or the will to do anything. That sometimes you act like you're punch drunk. You're just wading through life, just doing time day in and day out, looking at non-discriminatory television, anything that's on, just looking. And depressed, feeling powerless, feeling useless, and bored. What do you do? How do you get yourself out of a rut? How do you, when you know you can do more than what you've been doing and you're not doing it and you're discontent with where you are, you get angry at yourself. How do you get out of that rut? How do you motivate yourself? One of the things that we must do is that we must be involved in working on achieving self-mastery. You must work on yourself continuously. Never be satisfied with yourself. Always know that as you invest the effort and time on you, that's the greatest ability that human beings have above animals. See, a dog can't be anything but a dog. Tree can't be anything but a tree. Human being, you've got unlimited potential. You can put effort on you, and by concentrating on you and developing you, you can transform your life wherever you are right now. So you want to work on yourself. You want to read books that inspire you and motivate you. You want to listen to tapes over and over and over again. And I suggest that you listen to tapes when you first get up in the morning. You want to control the spirit of your day. When you first wake up in the morning, your mind is operating at 10.5 wave cycles per second. That's when the subconscious mind is most impressionable. Whatever you hear in the first 20 minutes when you wake up, that will affect the spirit of your day. When you listen to tapes, listen with relaxed belief, believing that this can happen for you. And by listening to them, listen to them over and over and over again, and you will get a breakthrough. You can listen to the same tape for months, and all of a sudden you hear something you never heard before. It have a special meaning for you. Or read the same book over again, and you find some special insight. You said, I can't believe I didn't see that the first time. So you want to be involved in developing yourself. Most people won't do that. Most people won't take that kind of effort and invest that kind of energy in themselves, because they will fall prey to that conversation within. Oh, don't do that. You don't have time. You're too busy. You're too caught up in the rat race. Most people won't do that. Well, they won't take time to go to lectures. They won't take time to go to seminars. They won't take time to go to classes to improve themselves. And as you continue to work on yourself, you will begin to expand your vision of yourself. You begin to work towards self-mastery. And you will begin to see it reflect itself in all the dimensions of your life, your mental life, your physical life, your social life, in your relationships, your monetary life. So concentrate on developing yourself. Because if you don't, I guarantee you that you will make a settlement. And most people have. And most of us already have. What kind of settlement have you made with your life? Many of us are making in-life settlement. We're settling for less than what we actually deserve. We don't feel good about it, but we make it work in our minds. We'll come up with some kind of excuse to make it all right. What kind of settlement have you made with your life? Many of us settle for less than what we want out of relationships because we don't have the courage to change them. The next thing is, in order to begin to find some keys to self-motivation to drive yourself, in addition to working on yourself, and as you work on yourself, you feel good about yourself, and as you feel better about yourself, you treat yourself differently. Develop a health plan. See, you can't feel well and do well if you don't have good health. You can't perform if you don't have your health. Your health is valuable. Develop a health plan. A plan that you will follow, because this is the only vehicle that you have to carry you through this experience called life. And you want to take good care of it because you love you enough. You care enough about you. And that's not easy. It is not easy having a health plan and sticking to it. But you're worth it doing it again and again and again. Next thing is, as you take care of yourself, the next key is keys to motivation, to self-motivation. You want to live life with energy and passion. You want to make a conscious effort to be lively. See, in life, you either saying hello or goodbye. You either on the way or in the way. You want to be happy. You got a lot to be thankful for. But you watch some of the faces around you every day. And I tell you, some of these faces, they will put you in a depressed state of mind. So you want to avoid these kind of faces. When you see them coming, turn your head. The things that you say to yourself, you want to watch them, and in watching them, you want to take charge. So you've got to learn to stand up to yourself inside yourself and short circuit, override that conversation that's always going on. 85% of what that conversation will tell you is negative. It's negative. It will tell you you're tired when you really are not tired. It will tell you you can't do it. It will fill you with fear. So you've got to watch that conversation. And when you find it going on, you've got to stand up to it and say, I'm going to do this anyhow. I'm afraid, but I'm afraid not to do it. And I'm not going to let you stop me. The biggest challenge that you will have in life is you. There's an old African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. The next thing that is a key to self-motivation is that you've got to ask yourself, what do I want out of life? What do you want out of life? What do you want out of a job? What do you want out of a career? What do you want out of a relationship? What do you want? What gives you your life? How will you know when you got it? What will make you happy? You need to know. You need to start asking yourself some questions. What do I really, really, truly want? You need to be exact about that. Don't be vague. Oh, I just want to be happy. That's too vague. What will make you happy? How will you know when you got it? Zero in on it. Be exact. Be specific. And as you do that, that will stimulate that superconscious mind or the reticular activating system of your mind that will begin to find those things, to identify with it. And once you begin to determine that which you want, take the time to write it down. Don't just think about it. Write it down. That is a subjective process that engages the subconscious mind. Write it down. Once you write it down, read it 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. Why is that important? Because what it will do, it will cause you to focus. It will cause you to concentrate. When that other conversation is going on telling you what you cannot do, telling you all of the impossibilities and all of the obstacles, your concentrating will begin to create a larger vision within yourself, and you start looking for and seeing some new opportunities. You start creating some openings for yourself. As you begin to read that every day, day in and day out, that will make you focus. That will discipline your thinking. And you'll get all kind of creative ideas. As I talk to you right now, being involved in this immersion process, you're going to create some openings for yourself. You're going to get some ideas. You're going to feel your adrenaline flowing, and you're going to think about something, some idea you had. You say, I want to go back and I'm going to look at that again from a different vantage point, not from the level of the problem of the obstacles that I encountered, but from a higher vantage point. Because what you will begin to see and to know as I talk to the higher consciousness within you, that you are powerful, that you are a miracle worker. And that inner conversation has conditioned you to believe that you are not. And as you begin to discover the truth of who you are, whatever challenge that you're facing in life, and if you're living, you're facing some challenge, you'll begin to know that you're powerful and that you're a miracle maker.
The secret to success, There's a couple of elements that are important in success. First of all is your own level of expectation. You also have to learn to be happy with what you achieve sometimes. It's impossible in life to always achieve exactly what you have in the back of your head. So you need to learn also to be happy with what you achieved, even if it's only half of what you had in mind at first. I like a quote of John Lennon, life's what's happening to you when you're busy making other plans. And that is what I keep telling my wife as well, and a lot of people around me. You always expect something, and then something along the way comes, and then you have to alter your path again. And if you can learn to live with that, if you can be practical like that, then success is more easy, maybe. It's good to have a plan, but it's also good if you're working really hard and you're walking up against a door and you can't go through that door, then you just find a back door. Just find your way around it. And that's just the way that life is. Sometimes you cannot get exactly what you want or what you had in the back of your mind. Yes, it's very important that you have to have a good work ethic. Nobody gets anywhere without hard work, and you'll have good and bad days. Even myself as a producer, I run into disappointments almost on a daily basis because I try to work with artists that on the last moment pull back their song, or you don't see that, you don't read that in the news, but it's a fact of the matter. And I think all artists have to deal with stuff like that. You don't get the set times you want, you don't get the billing you want, you don't get the hotel room that you requested. It's something you have to deal with, and it defines your character, how easy you are to deal with stuff like that. Life is a roller coaster ride for everybody. It has its ups and its downs. But if everything goes well, you'll have more ups than downs, and you'll remember the ups more than you'll remember the downs. But it's a fact of the matter that everybody, no matter if you're a big artist, a successful artist, or a successful businessman, everybody works hard to get somewhere, and everybody has a certain passion. And I want to stress that the word passion is probably the most important in that. You have to really, really, really want something. And I think in life, it's so much more easy if you are devoted and dedicated to something. If you like your job, no, not like your job, love your job, you'll be 200% good at it because you're passionate about it. So ask yourself on a daily basis, is what I'm doing right now, is it something I love? Because if you don't love what you're doing, you're actually wasting your time. You should stop doing what you do. You should try and search for something else. Because I'm convinced that if you don't love what you do, you're only doing maybe at 50 or 70% of what you could do. And if you love what you do, you're really passionate about what you do, you love your job, or you love your work, or you love whatever you're doing, then you'll go for it 200%. And then you'll see that you can really excel. You can reach stuff beyond what you expected you would. I mean, people always ask me, like, why do you do 8-hour DJ sets? It's because I love it, man. I want to play all this music. And then physically, it's not healthy to not go to the bathroom for 6-7 hours. And I do it because I just don't think about going to the bathroom. I just feel the need to perform. I'm in the zone, I'm in the moment. I want to rock that crowd. And that's what I mean. You excel, you go beyond a human being can really achieve. It's like what Obi-Wan Kenobi said, if you can put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
If you truly are one of those people who commits a life to realizing a dream, you have to be a little crazy. John Baltazari says you have to be possessed. If you commit your entire life to a dream, you will find it. Because if you commit your everything, your entire being, there's only one of two possible outcomes. Number one, you'll find it. You will succeed. Number two, you'll die trying. To commit to this, to commit everything to chasing that dream, it may guarantee you'll find that dream. It does not guarantee a happy or great life. Dreams are important. Having goals, ambition, these are the things that drive life. But there's only one determination, there's only one factor that makes you a success or does not make you a success. It's a binary. And that is, are you happy? Are you happy with the life that you live? For all the people who might not consider themselves possessed, dreams matter, goals matter. And what they do is they serve as this guiding light that steers you through life. You keep your eyes fixed on that, and life may take you in all of these crazy trajectories, and along the way, you'll find what makes you happy. That pursuit may lead you to a place you could have never imagined, but a place where you're very, very happy.
All of the conditions that you find yourself in your life, all of the circumstances of your life, all of the emotional reactions that you have to all of the people and all of the things and events and so on that take place in your life are really choices. And that's a very difficult thing for a lot of people to get, because they're raised to believe that I can't help the way I feel. I have a right to be miserable when somebody treats me in a certain way. I can't help it. I've always been that way. It's just my nature. It's just the kind of person that I am. You indeed are the product of all of the choices that you've made up until this moment. And if you do not like what your life is about, I'm always reminded of James Allen in As a Man Thinketh. He said that circumstances do not make a man, they reveal him.
It's later in life. As you look back on your life, the windows of opportunity has closed. Your ability is no longer present. And you think back that you could have been great. Right now, you had the ability to never have that debate inside your head, because that's the debate you can never win.
When you want something bad enough, you make the time, regardless of your other obligations. The truth is, most people just don't want it bad enough. Then they protect their ego with the excuse of time. Don't let yourself off the hook with excuses. It's entirely your responsibility to make your dreams come true. Besides, the perfect time never arrives. You're always too young or old, or busy or broke or something else. If you constantly fret about timing things perfectly, they'll never happen.
How do we transcend our old, habituated modes of thinking? How do we transcend our patterns of thought that sometimes make us blind to what's right under our nose? Everything good and great begins at the edge of our comfort zone. That's when we surprise ourselves. That's when we innovate. That's when we get inspired and experience cognitive ecstasy, an exhilarating neurostorm of intense intellectual pleasure. It's associated with great innovation and great invention. We find that in order to use our heads, we've got to go out of our minds, as Timothy Leary used to say. It means that stepping outside our comfort zone makes us better, more efficient, more creative, more compassionate people. So we should seize these disruptions. We should seize these challenges as a chance to blow our minds, try something new, do something that's never been done before, so that we can awe ourselves and awe the world.
We're constantly looking at life. What is it? What is it? Where are we? Look how interesting. Look at different cultures, different beliefs. How do they come to that? How do I feel about that? What do I think? It is a daily adventure. You have your voice. It's there. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Create. Don't let anyone stop you.
The indomitable will, if you have a belief, you can do something. The only way you grow that, like in the gym, you grow your muscles by actually exercising them. You grow the love of you and your wife by caring for them and having their back. To grow the individual will to become something, you must get comfortable with fear and failure. They must be your best friends. Safety, comfort zones are dead zones. To show up and be your best. And that opportunity doesn't come that often.
Look, if you're happy and you've got student loans and you've got mortgages and you work 2 jobs, but you're happy, good. The problem is there's so many millions of people just sitting around complaining. and then they go play Madden for 4 hours. Just to set the record straight, if you are listening and you're complaining, then you gotta audit yourself. You can't watch House of Cards. You can't play ball all day. You can't go to ballet shows. You gotta work.
We all have things that we're believing for, dreams that we want to accomplish, problems we're hoping will turn around. Maybe it's to see our family restored, to lose some weight, to break an addiction, to start our own business. But sometimes as it goes on month after month, even year after year, and we don't see anything changing, it's easy to get discouraged and think, it's never gonna happen. This is as good as it gets. I'll just learn to live with it. We all go through disappointments, setbacks, loss. Pain is a part of life. It's easy to get discouraged, even bitter. Think, why is this happening to me? Sometimes we look at pieces in our lives that don't make sense. The key is what we do in our times of pain. Pain will change us. Heartache, loss, disappointments, they don't leave us the same. Every painful time, even though you don't like it, it's developing something in you that can only be developed in the tough times. Eventually, that will pass. You'll get through it, but you will be different. In those tough times, when you're uncomfortable, going through a loss, dealing with an illness, you could easily let it overwhelm you. Now, how the pain changes you is up to you. You can come out bitter, or you can come out better. You can come out defeated, giving up on your dreams, or you can come out with a new passion, a new fire, excited about the new opportunities in front of you. I may not like it, but I'm not a whiner, I'm a warrior. I know I can handle this. Don't complain about the pain. Without the pain, we couldn't reach the fullness of our destinies. Sometimes we bring pain on ourselves. We make poor choices, get in a relationship we know is not good, or maybe get over our head in our spending. Now it's painful. We're having to deal with the consequences. All of us experience pain. My challenge, don't just go through it, grow through it. That difficulty is an opportunity to get stronger, to develop character, to gain new confidence. Anybody can give up. Anybody can let it overwhelm you. But you know what that's doing? Wasting your pain. That pain is not there to stop you. It's there to prepare you, to increase you, to develop you. Difficulties are a part of life. Now quit telling yourself you can't take it. You're not weak. You are well able. Eventually the pain will pass. You'll give birth to new strength. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. And there will always be forces trying to convince us to settle where we are. Life has a way of pushing our dreams down. They can become buried under discouragement, buried under past mistakes. There are dreams buried under divorce, buried under low self-esteem. It's easy to settle for mediocrity even though we have all this potential buried on the inside. What are you remembering? The hurt, the pain, what didn't work out? Turn it around and remember your dream. Have you allowed any dreams to get buried in you? At one time, you believed you could do something great. You believed you could lead the company in sales. You believed you could break that addiction. And it's been a long time. Had some bad breaks. Wasn't all your fault. You could easily settle where you are. Nobody would fault you. The enemy would love to deceive you into burying your dream, thinking that it's never going to work out. Don't believe those lies. It's not too late to become all that you were created to be. Every time you remember your dream, you're removing some dirt. You're digging it back out. The true mark of a champion is even though some dirt gets thrown on your dream, instead of letting it get buried, you keep shaking it off. You keep moving forward. You wouldn't be having that opposition if you didn't have something great in you. If your dream wasn't alive and on track, right on schedule to come to pass, you wouldn't have so many things coming against you. That dream is still alive. You may have tried a year ago, 5 years ago, or 40 years ago. Didn't work out. Nobody was there to help you. Go back and try again. This is your time. This is your moment. Your destiny is calling out to you. Can I tell you, your dream is not dead. It's just not in season. Your time is coming. Promotion is coming. Good breaks are coming. Promises you've been standing on. Dreams you've been praying about. Lack is not your destiny. Constantly struggling, barely getting by is not the end of your story. These light afflictions are for a moment. The adversity is temporary. The glory is eternal. There are some dreams shut up in you. Like fire, you're going to feel your destiny calling out. May not have happened the first time. The loan didn't go through. You didn't get chosen for the part. The medical report wasn't good. That's okay. It's still in you. This is your time. This is your moment. Shake off the doubt. Shake off the negativity. You're at the right place. You're at the right time. Now all you've got to do is get in the right frame of mind. Lord, I believe this is my year to get healthy and whole. This is my year to meet the people of my dreams. This is my year to go further in my career, to step into a new level of my destiny. This is my year to accomplish dreams, to break free from this depression. This is my year to meet the right people. This is my year to get healthy and whole. This is your year to see double. This is your year for vindication, for restoration, for new beginnings. Now get your mind going in the right direction.
All human actions are motivated at their deepest level by one of two emotions, fear or love. In truth, there are only two emotions, only two words in the language of the soul. Every human thought and every human action is based in either love or fear. This is what I have called the sponsoring thought. It is either a thought of love or fear. This is the thought behind the thought behind the thought. It is the first thought. It is prime force. It is the raw energy that drives the engine of human experience. Every thought, every statement, every feeling is creative. Listen to your feelings. Listen to your highest thoughts. Listen to your experience. God created you in the image and likeness of God. You have created the rest through the power God has given you. God created the process of life and life itself as you know it. If you believe that God is the creator and decider of all things in your life, you are mistaken. God is the observer, not the creator. And God stands ready to assist you in living your life, but not in the way you might expect. But in the moment you pledge your highest love, you greet your greatest fear. You will not have that for which you ask, nor can you have anything you want. This is because your very request is a statement of lack, and you're saying you want a thing only works to produce that precise experience, wanting in your reality. The correct prayer is therefore never a prayer of supplication, but a prayer of gratitude. When you thank God in advance for that which you choose to experience in your reality, you in effect acknowledge that it is there, in effect. Go first to your highest thought about yourself. Imagine the you that you would be if you lived that thought every day. Imagine what you would think, do, and say, and how you would respond to what others do and say. It's your words about it. I'm broke. I haven't a dime. I don't have any money. That dictates how long you stay broke. It's your actions surrounding it, feeling sorry for yourself, sitting around despondent, not trying to find a way out because what's the use anyway? That creates your long-term reality. Your thought about yourself is that you are not good enough, not wondrous enough, not sinless enough. You have denied for so long who you are that you've forgotten who you are. Yet if you knew who you are, you would never fear. But you do not know who you are. And you think you are a great deal less. Where did you get the idea of how much less than magnificent you are? Do you want your life to take off? Begin at once to imagine it the way you want it to be, and move into that. Check every thought, word, and action that does not fall into harmony with that. Move away from those. When you have a thought that is not in alignment with your higher vision, change to a new thought. I tell you this, all you see in your world is the outcome of your idea about it.
If you don't know, now you know. It's true. When you're ready to do something and try something new, that's out of your comfort zone, that's out of your norm, it's always the one you're dating, the one you're married to, the one that's in your family, your friends in your immediate circle, that will always try and talk you out of doing something special and significant. Do you know how many people have had visions, ideas, and huge career moves that they were about to make, and they allowed the word no to stop? Your ideas because they're disowning your ideas. Don't lose confidence in your ideas because they don't have confidence in your ideas. Don't be afraid to walk into the unfamiliar. Don't be afraid to do what's deep inside of you to do. You got gifts, you got talents, you got capabilities, you got inventions, you got all of these things that you need to unleash on the world. You don't have money, you may not have the financial resources, but don't allow your visions and ideas to be stifled because of what's in your bank account or not. And something inside of you made you say that even though I grew up in this situation, I'm still going to work and be a better man or a woman. I'm still going to do whatever I have to do to break the cycle. I'm still going to decide that I love myself enough to do better, bigger, and more significant things. But it takes a very strong-minded person to decide that because I was born into this, doesn't mean that this is going to define the outcome of what my life and purpose on this earth is destined to be.
I see what's not there. I have visions. My visions are bold and unapologetic.
You know, they say you gotta think out of the box. In my mind, there is no box. To have ideas and visions and dreams, and then to do any means necessary to see to it that the vision come to life. Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. And then there's even more power to be able to see what doesn't exist and then to be able to articulate it and verbalize it. Just keeping your minds and your spirits open to the possibilities.
I'm telling you, stop being afraid of the unfamiliar. It's time to do something significant. It's time to get up. It's time to get back into being significant. Just woke up.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
What are you gonna do today to walk towards your goal? I'm just curious. I'm curious. How many text messages are gonna come through today where you respond and end up connecting with that person that can take you off your path? How much time and energy are you going to dedicate to your gift and your talent or your goal? How committed are you to producing results? A lot of people talking about what they're going to do. But how many of y'all today are going to decide to do it? I want you to write, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. I'm a king. Are you a king? Or a queen? I'm just asking. Are you in the gym? Are you doing anything to walk towards your goals of being in shape, more focused, getting an A+ on those tests? Are you training as hard as you know you're supposed to be training to make the team or stay on the team?
You worked your ass off. You got up at 6 a.m. in the morning. You decided to stay in your college dorm and not party, drink, smoke, and get high. You decided to focus and get away from all of the distractions so that you can pass that bar exam and that test. You decided to focus so that you can get a high test grade on your SAT scores and end up going to college to play sports, football, basketball, or anything that your college degrees allowed you to do and become. You decided to focus and get it done. You sacrificed all of the fun, the perks, and all of the fun shit you could have been doing because you were that focused on getting out of your own way, breaking the cycle, breaking the devil cycle of your own family and your surroundings.
I decided to love myself enough to want better, desire better, and seek better, and move in the direction of something better.
What is the next level of you? Are you done? Are you done evolving? That shit that you accomplished was 5 years ago. It's over. You're still alive. You getting on your knees every night and you praying, but then you getting off of your knees and ain't doing shit. You can't get points today for yesterday's game. I don't give a fuck how much money is in my account. I'm gonna make a statement every day. I wanna become the things that I see.
Go get it. If you got a problem with your life and your career, stop complaining about it. You spend so much time on your knees are bleeding. Get up off your knees and do the work.
There is more to do. I don't care how much money I have in my pocket. I'm trying to be significant.
Does anybody know how much money was in Martin Luther King's bank account? How much did Nelson Mandela have in his bank account before he died?
He was significant. He made a statement.
He lived his life with a sense of purpose. He was selfless. He wanted to make a difference in everybody's life and everybody he ever came in contact with.
I refuse to be another man that lived and died and wasn't significant.